Alright, we're on a service call, and if y'all take a listen here, we don't have a compressor. Y'all hear that? Well, I'm going to be looking for I'm going to pull the disconnect here. And I'm going to be looking for a bad capacitor, or hope that's all it is. If not, it looks like we're going to have lock rotor amps. But this is an Armstrong, so let me go get my tools. Alright, I got the Armstrong opened up here. Anytime I hear a compressor doing that noise, that's a locked rotor and it's trying to start. You always want to check your capacitor. That'll definitely do it. A bad capacitor will cause that. If the capacitor's good, about the only other alternative you can do is put a hard start on it. If the hard start doesn't make the compressor start, then the compressor is no good no more. It's going to have to be changed, or the unit's going to have to be changed or something like that. But as you can see though, that capacitor looks just a little fat on top. And let's see if I can find a size on that thing. No. Boy, this ought to be fun. No supply houses are open. This is looks like a 2.5 ton. Let me look on the compressor and see if it'll tell me what size capacitor it's supposed to have in the fan motor. Alright, I had to take the top off of it and get down to the compressor to see what size capacitor the compressor took. You talk about a piece of crap, man. Pisses me off when I gotta work on junk like this. This is an Armstrong, and same thing as Duquesne and Concord. When I pulled the top off of it, the whole damn unit almost fell apart. Anyway, I couldn't get my head down there low enough, so I took a picture of it with my phone. And as you can see right there, it says Copeland run cap 35. The fan calls for a 5, so we're gonna put a 35.5 on here. Alright, turns out I didn't have a 35, so I'm gonna put a 30/5. Now, these capacitors are plus or minus 6%. So 35 minus 6% is like 32 and some change. I don't think it'll hurt. I don't, if I had a 35, obviously I'd be putting it on here, but it's Saturday, the supply houses are not open. Even if they were open, I'm nowhere close to one. So I'm not gonna make a 30-minute trip back into town even if they were open. I think a 30 will do just fine on here. I hate to do it this way, but sometimes you just got to do what you got to do. So let me get this one mounted and wired up, and then I'll show y'all how I wired up. Okay, I've got the new one mounted in place, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to wire it up. This red wire, which is coming off your contactor, is going to go to your common pin. Okay, and you just, you can follow, you can follow the old one, and then this yellow wire goes to Herm for your compressor. So that's where we're going to go here on the new one, and then the brown one is your fan wire, and that's where we're going to go on this one. And that's it. That's all there is to do in a capacitor. So let's put the disconnect in and see if she'll fire. And she's off. Boy, that thing is not discharging hardly any air. It's doing a little bit over here. They're pretty dirty. I'm gonna go ahead and clean them. She already gave me the approval to clean them. This is a friend of my sister's. One of my sister's friends. You can see that one is dirty. So I'm gonna go ahead and call gun the hell out of them. Clean them up real good. Alright guys, let me go get to cleaning. Yeah, here we go, call gunning another unit. I love this thing. I love using it. It's so fun. Yeah, these things are pretty dirty. They were a lot dirtier than what I thought. If you're going to service call and you know you're not getting a lot of discharge off the top of your fan, you know, if it's a real, you know, low discharge and you ain't hardly moving no air, you've either got a dirty condenser, or like Zach said on his last video he put up, or one of his last videos he put up, either that or your fan blade is in the wrong position. It's sitting, you know, it's sitting on the shaft wrong. It's too low or too high, or, you know, something of that nature. So, just to give you any of you guys a tip out there about that, that's what you can look for. If you've got a, your condenser is not discharging a lot of air. So, just gonna get these things cleaned up. And this one here wasn't pulling much heat out of the house. So after I get it cleaned, I'm pretty sure these things are running orifices. I'm gonna make sure and get a target superheat and see what this one's doing. I guess I'll go ahead and do that on both of them. Okay, let me finish cleaning these things up. Look at the gunk I'm pulling out of there, y'all. Look at that. Look at that. Guys, you talk about that will lessen the efficiency of a unit, and you talk about will tear it up, shorten the life. Lack of maintenance, guys. Lack of maintenance. Lord have mercy. Alright, y'all. Okay, y'all, on the big unit here, we were target superheat of 17.3. I had to let just a little bit out. I mean, hardly nothing, and we're at 13.5, so that's within the 5. So I'm going to call this one good, and I'm going to move on to the small one. I'm going to go do my wet bulb on that one and dry bulb and get that one charged up and get out of here, because it's Saturday and I've been working all week non-stop, and I'd like to relax today. So I'll get back to y'all. Okay, let me pick this up so y'all can hear me. Target superheat on the small one is 19, and we're at 28, so I'm going to let it run a minute, and if it doesn't come down, I'm going to add just a little bit of refrigerant to it. And that'll be it for the Armstrong's. Biggest piece of junk I've ever worked on, but I don't know. I tell you what though, my sisters, my two sisters have been giving me a lot of work lately. They got some dumb friends that don't do maintenance and keep their stuff up, so I guess in a way that's good though. My sisters sure have been throwing me a lot of work lately. So can't complain about that. Alright, well, let me see what this thing's gonna do. Alright guys, I got these Armstrongs going. I'm fixing to get out of here. I'm gonna try to go home and relax, maybe jump in my pool. The small one here, as you saw, we changed a bad capacitor, we cleaned it, and we added a pound of refrigerant to get the superheat right. On the big one there, all we did was cleaner, and we let out a little bit of refrigerant. It had just a hair too much in her. So they're clean, they're running good, and it looks like they may get a few more years out of these things. So I'm gonna try to go home and relax, jump in my pool, and hopefully I won't get called out again this weekend so I can get some rest. Okay, y'all, thanks for watching.